It's my pleasure to have Mr. Manoj Adlakha with us. Thank you to the Luxo team for having this session. And without further ado, I think we'll just begin. So, sir, if I were to introduce you as someone who creates lifetime experiences, then how would you introduce yourself in a line?
One line?
Yeah,
Uh, okay, I may not use one line, I'll use two words, and that would be dream weaver.
Dream Weaver. Wow, I think that's the shortest introduction anyone must have. The word, choice of words.
You told me
Any,
we don't have much time.
that's true. So, from American Express to your own company, it sounds smooth on paper, but how difficult was it, or how was the journey?
Yeah, see, it's never easy. Some of you would have worked in corporate life here. I spent over 30 years at American Express, and when I took the plunge, it was with the backdrop of the fact that luxury market in India was booming, and you know, in with that, and having a very, I would like to think at least, a very good customer insight into what HNIs and ultra HNIs require, I took a plunge, knowing very clearly that it could fail as any, venture could. But with one clear objective, if I were to fail, I would fail fast and move on to something new.
I think that was a leap of faith that you took. That's great to know. So, sir, luxury is more about exclusivity, right? But how do you create a balance between exclusivity and personalize as well?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. It's all about, to me, it's, like you said, it's about exclusivity. If I were to position it slightly differently, for me, it's a balance between scale and soul. Soul, as in, your inner soul, and scale. And it is not either or, it is both. So you can build luxury and build it, on a rapid basis, scale it up, but you cannot take the soul away from the Luxury. If your soul is not in the game, you will never be able to deliver the kind of experiences that the customer is looking for.
Oh, that was quite a true to the heart kind of answer. Nice to know. This next question is going to be a very interesting one. Uh, which is the quirkiest request that you have got from your clients?
One of the things we mention to all our members is that we take requests from them and we make it very upfront, clear to them that as long as the request that they're making to us is not immoral, unethical, or illegal, it'll be our endeavor to meet the request. So it'll be our endeavor to meet the request, like I said. So one request which came our way came from the city of Mumbai. It was not too long ago. And honestly, I thought this request may not get fulfilled. The request was, there was a couple who was engaged to get married, and they wanted the blessing from the Pope. And so our team got in touch with the Pope's office, not with the Pope directly, but someone down the line. And so at the Vatican City, and they laid down three conditions. First condition was that the Pope is not going to travel naturally to Mumbai. It's the other way around, understandable. Second condition was that they had to give, this couple had to give a very small token towards the charity which, the Pope believed in. Again, for an HNI, which is a high net worth individual, not a big issue. Third, I thought would be a big challenge, which was that if they needed to be blessed by the Pope, these were Maharashtrians based out of Mumbai, they needed to convert and they had to become Catholics.
My
And
God.
they agreed and did it, and they had a wonderful time.
My God, that must have been quite an experience. So, sir, if money and access was not a limit, what would be that one dream experience that you would create for us?
Well, as in, the question is money and experience were not a limit.
No, I'm saying if money and access was not a limitation, then what would be that one dream experience that you would love to create?
See, for me, any dream experience is where at the end of the day, I have a team of about 45, 50 people across the country. When they come back and say that we've got such satisfaction, and that satisfaction is not ever going to come from material goods. It's going to come from curated experiences. And we do this for a living, we do this day in, day out. So I can't really point out one, but that's really where it is not about material possessions, it's about what the inner self, and I go back to the soul and the inner self. That is what I would really, put it at.
With the answer of this question, you also answered my next question, which was going to be that in India, do you think people are moving from material luxuries to experiential ones?
Oh, totally. Firstly, it's to my mind, material is all about. It's a cliche. It's all about curating experiences. It's all about what you feel as a customer, and they right now the experiential or the like you rightly said, the experiential market that is running at about $75 billion, growing at 30% year on year. So
Wow.
people are no longer looking at the regular run-of-the-mill luxury. They're looking at something very different. And within that, I want to just talk about two or three things which are very interesting. One, I'm going to talk about heritage. We are in, the sacred city, the city of Banaras. It's such a, serene, beautiful. When you sleep, you get wonderful 6 to 8 hours of sleep, which you probably don't get in any other city. Heritage tourism has become so big post COVID. It probably may have been there before that, but there is a pronounced differentiation. Second is wellness retreats. The third is, believe it or not, marriages. Now, I don't know how many of you are aware, but there are 1 million marriages that happen in India. So 1 million marriages a month, which happen in India. Now, what happens in these marriages? You have Teras, which is a very North Indian terminology, that could be happening in Jaipur. You would have Feras come much later. You could have engagement in Paris where the proposal is happening. Then come the Feras, which could be happening in Jaipur. Then followed by the reception, which is happening in Greece. And somewhere in between, the guests are taken on some other heritage. So it's become literally like a Bollywood scenario, and about 50 to 60 billion dollars are spent on this industry every year.
Well, with that, I'm curious to know, according to you, which city in India has the most potential when it comes to luxurious experiences?
So it's not one city. It would be really, there are cities which are highly saturated: Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, Hyderabad. The action really is happening in tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 cities. And, whatever earlier was probably tier 2 has already moved into tier 1, what was tier 3 has already moved into tier 2. And it is the smallest cities which have such high aspirational value. When you hear about, Rolls Royces and Aston Martins, and, so it fuels aspirations of people. So the growth is really happening in those cities.
Okay. That's interesting to know. As you know, there's a talk about AI suddenly coming and capturing every service sector, every office, every profession. What do you think the future of luxury and luxurious experiences, uh, you know, with the effect of AI, I should rather ask, what would be the effect of AI on luxurious experiences?
Yeah, AI is a buzzword. I know everyone knows what AI. AI is artificial intelligence. AI, to me, luxury, to answer your question specifically, is going to be the fusion of AI, VR, and human touch. You cannot do away with either of them in the years to come. AI will help you curate experiences. VR, which is virtual recognition, will give it the visual impact or the imaginary impact of it, and the human touch will bring the emotion into it.
So you mean to say AI will be useful in the
Absolutely.
sector, but only in the planning stage, and it won't be a part of the experience per se.
Absolutely. So, like I said, it will be a fusion of all three.
We have a lot of youngsters sitting in the crowd. If there would be, if there's someone who's like, really aspirational, chasing dreams, what would be that one piece of advice that you would give?
Uh, all I would say is dream audaciously. Okay, that means dream big as if there was no tomorrow. But have a clear focus, have a clear game plan, and be pragmatic in your thinking. Have a plan B in place, because not every time your plan A is going to work. Have a plan B in place, and if you're setting out doing your own venture, make sure you have the best team. You are not going to be able to do it alone. If you do not have the best team, you're going to fail. Trust me, you're going to fail. So have the best team, have a very clear, problem statement that you're solving for, and be bold in your thinking. That's what I would do.
I think we all should make this a part of our rule book because it's coming from the former CEO of American Express. So I guess it couldn't have been a better piece of advice. Now, the final question before we move on to the next rapid fire round, the final question would be if I was to ask you that what is the definition of living, for you, what would it be?
Definition of living.
Yeah, living a truly luxurious life.
Ah, for me, I would put it in one word because from the start, from the backstage, you told me time is of essence.
Yeah.
It's freedom. I should have the freedom to live life on my own terms, as simple as that.
Okay, that was, I think, one word says it all. And by freedom, you could mean financial freedom also, right?
Financial, emotional, spiritual, every which way.
Time is short, otherwise we could go on, more about this topic. Now we have a very short rapid fire round. So with your permission, if we could play. One celebrity who surprised you with their simplicity.
Uh, you may or may not have heard of this. I follow him a lot, and he had a little bit of a tough time when he was in India. Uh, I love following the journeys of entrepreneurs. This particular person is a gentleman by the name of Vivek Oberoi, and he's moved
Yes,
to
yes.
Dubai, and he's one of the most successful entrepreneurs now. He's far ahead of all the people back in Bollywood now, and that is because of his razor sharp focus and the way he goes around executing things, and he's got a very spiritual mind also.
That's nice to know. He's my senior from school.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah.
Okay.
Lux-
That's Mayo College.
yeah.
Okay.
So luxury that should be banned as per you.
Luxury that should be banned, as per me, would be I'd actually put it on two items. One would be fur, and the second would be ivory. And the reason I say this is luxury is here to elevate people's lives, not to take away someone's life.
Wow. Nice. If I was to give you 24 hours to disappear from work, where would you go?
Bananas.
I think that needs a round of applause. If he says that he would like to be in Banaras.
I love the city. It's been absolutely a pleasure. But just uh, what I would do in those 24 hours, I would just cut off my Wi-Fi, absolutely, and spend the time that I have with a set of friends, maybe over a glass of wine or whatever, and do things where those 24 hours I would make them count. Because time is money, time is of essence. We don't realize time is the only thing that, to my mind, is the wealthiest or the most material asset that we have. And sometimes we undervalue it.
So who throws better parties, Bollywood celebrities or corporate billionaires?
Neither. You guys throw a lovely get together.
We'll take that one. Which is more stressful, managing celebrities or managing clients?
Celebrities come with a big entourage, and clients come with big expectations. So there is, a lots of luggage with both of them. So I would any day put clients, expectations, because we've been meeting them day after day, to be the easier one. Celebrities would be slightly more difficult.
If you were to explain luxury with another word, just one word, what would it be?
Uh, I think I used that, so I may have to use it again. It would be about freedom and expression to achieve your dreams. Probably that's what I would say.
Taj Mahal at sunrise or the Eiffel Tower at night?
Taj, Ba Taj, any day.
Nice. One guilty pleasure you secretly indulge in?
Only one. Uh, you know, it's what happens when you work, when you're working on your own, or you're doing any kind of a, like after almost 35 years or 33 years in corporate life, I ventured into something of my own, as against getting a salary on a particular day. I have to cater for 50, 60 people's salaries on a monthly basis, pay GST, do this, do that. So it's stress. There's a lot of this thing. So for me, that one guilty thing I do every night is, and one can't, overdo things. So I probably polish off maybe one or two packets of those kurkuras and one or two of those sugar-free ice cream, but they are not the healthiest of things, but I do that almost every night.
Nice. Sir, if you had to spend one entire day as a client of your own company, then how do you think that day would be?
Of my own company.
Yeah, if you were to be a client of your own company
Okay.
for a day, and what would be that one experience, or
Sure,
how would you spend
sure.
the day?
So, we get all kinds of odd requests. I mentioned about the Pope, so I will not make a Pope request, definitely. But I'll start my day. I'm going to ask for, there's a certain kind of, in Paris, there's something I really like from a breakfast viewpoint. So I'm going to ask my relationship manager to organize that for me in Delhi. Then that will be for the first half of the day. Then I'm going to move into a lunch, which will be where I'm going to ask him or he, her, whoever my lifestyle manager is, to organize with, an interaction for me with some of my famous, you know, my, people I really look up to, whether it's a Steve Jobs or a Bruce Springsteen or whatever, and get an interaction with them. And in the night,
One luxury which is overrated.
I think it is anything which is very glossy. It is anything which is over the top. I don't want to bring down cars or anything, but which does not have a sense or a feeling or an emotion to it, to me is overrated. So it's again goes back to the material possessions, and a lot of us, attach a lot of value, whether it's watches or otherwise. Those, to my mind, are overrated. Because luxury is about time. Luxury is about spending that time with near and dear ones. Luxury is about health, fitness, and wellness.
Right. One last question that one of my friend requested me to
Oh.
ask you was, how is the Red Beryl, your company, different from the Amex Concierge?
Both are very good. So American Express Concierge, I think, does a great job at what they do. In what we do, we are not a concierge company at Red Beryl. It's a company that's only 2.5 years old, but we are a lifestyle company. So we have 14 or 15 different pillars or verticals, and we're in 11 cities in India, and we provide value on an annual basis, anywhere between 25 to 30 lakhs worth of value back to the customer. I'm a firm believer that you have to deliver value to the customer. That's what we've been able to do here. And for me, concierge is nothing but one of the fulfillment channels. Every customer of mine has a lifestyle manager. They have an app if they want to go into. But at the end of the day, it's all about value that we can deliver to them, whether it's in India or overseas.
Right. So thank you, sir. It was nice interacting with you. And let me tell you, I've had a brief interaction with Manoj, sir, backstage, and I think we'll see him more often in Banaras now. Uh, I think with this we come to an end of the session, and we'll move on to the
Sure.
fashion show for which everyone's been looking forward to. Thank you so much once again. Thanks to everyone.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we have a round of applause for two handsome gentlemen on stage?
Thank you very much.